Another group of tools available in Civil 3D are located in an area called the toolbox and the tool space, and they're going to be allowing you to generate reports and either copy them out or paste them or whatever. It should be located as a tab here called Toolbox. If it's not, navigate to the Home tab and you'll see the little toolbox there. Click that and it should appear down here. We're going to go ahead and select that. And you see what we have here is Reports Manager and Miscellaneous Utilities. You can generate reports on alignments, corridors, parcels, all the things that you see there. We can also set up the settings on that, and we should do that first. We're going to click on this guy right here. We're going to go to the Edit Report Settings, and you'll notice you've got information you can fill out for client owner, and then for alignments, profiles, all the different things that you would be generating. So for instance, if we open up alignment, go to coordinate, we'll see that your value may be set to a value that you don't like. Most people like to see it in 4. I'm going to set it to 4 if it's not already there. Same thing with linear distance. Usually it's 2. So if that's set to some other value, set it to 2. Angular value should be DMS. For pipes or points, for instance, again, coordinate values, I like to use precision of 4. And so you would set those up prior to generating your report. Okay, that. We're going to look at points first. And if we open up points, we'll see there's all different types of things you can do. A point list, stake out for radial stake out purposes. Station offset, which is what we're interested in. So we're going to click on that. And you'll get this box that'll pop up for you. And what we have, it might be a little bit condensed, so you can increase or decrease the size of that, which you might want to open up because it makes this list box here a little bit better to read. What we're going to do is generate a station offset report for points located around the alignment using the easements. We're going to go from 70, we'll do the 70 series. And so make sure that you've got the right alignment selected. We're going to select lateral. And I'm going to deselect all the points, but for some reason mine are coming in not in order, so I'm going to have to kind of scroll through the list. But I'm just going to grab the 70 series. And make sure you get the ones that you want. And when you're done, create report. It takes it a few minutes to generate it. You should get this eventually. And notice anything that was filled in up in these areas, you would have that coming in. If it's just like this, then that's just blank. Alignment name, you notice the station ranges. There's your point numbers that you've included, the station values, the offset value left or right. Elevation is kind of looking strange because we don't have any elevations. And then we have the description. Notice also if a point was not adjacent to an alignment, it would show up in a list down here. So we're going to go ahead and close that. We're going to take a look at some alignment types of things that you can do. If we close the point list, we're going to open up alignments. You can do alignment curve for legal description purposes, all kinds of really nice things in here. We're going to do this thing called stakeout alignment report, but before we do that I want to make a few setting changes here. So I want to go in and get rid of these easement points, and then we're going to add the lateral points that we're going to be using for control. So I'm going to go back to the prospector, and I'm going to go up to point groups, and I'm going to send the easement points down below the blank, and the lateral, I'm going to promote that to the top. I'm going to apply that, okay that, and you should see your lateral points. And the point I'm really interested in is going to be the PC point 52 in my case, and the PI point, which is this guy right here, which would be 60. So we're going to be occupying 52 and backsighting 60 as we do our list out. And what we're going to do then is list out the curve information, and it's going to give us basically long chords to go from 52 around to the end point. So we're going to go back to the toolbox. We're going to go to Stakeout Alignment Report, and you'll get this box that will come up this time. And what I'm going to do is kick off the two alignments I don't want. I'm going to occupy 52, backside 60. I'm going to have it turn angles turned plus, which means those are going to be angles to the right. And I want to limit stations to the PC and the PT essentially. Notice I can't do that here. I have to come up here. Once I click that, they become active. So we need to get the PC information, which is 16735, and the PT information, which is actually 594.02. We're going to increment this to 25-foot interval, and we're going to leave it at a 0 offset. So we're going to go ahead and have it create report. Notice up here it's entered those values. I'm going to hit create report. Takes it a few minutes. And what you're looking at over here are essentially deflection angles and long chords to put that guy in. You also are noticing that we are in the northern and eastern format, and you see that we're at 4 decimal places because we had set that up earlier. The one thing that's kind of strange about this report, it does not give me the last station, so it doesn't show me the PT. So I don't have that as an angle to check. So this angle right here, which should be half of delta if we're out all the way, is not quite half a delta. But that's a quick way of doing that kind of reporting. So we're going to dismiss that. Okay, we're going to perform one more operation here because this is a right-of-way going through someone's property, and it's a new right-of-way, and we've established the alignment. We've actually built these alignments as well, or the right-of-ways. We're going to have to write legal descriptions for this piece and for this piece down here. So we would need to, one thing, definitely be able to calculate the area. So what I'm going to do is go back to the prospector, and we're going to make a few changes here. I'm going to get rid of all of my points, so I'm going to go to props, set the blank at the very top, apply that, okay it. Everything should disappear that way. I'm going to turn my easement off, my easement layer. I'm going to just set any other layer, and I'm just going to go up here and just grab the 0 layer, make that the current layer, and then I can find my easement layer down in this list, which is pretty big, but I'm going to go ahead and freeze my easement layer. So there, it's gone. And if you haven't ever used the little routine I'm going to show you, it's a great little routine in AutoCAD. It's called the boundary command, or bpoly, and what it will do is allow you to select an internal point to your area, generates a polyline for you around this, and you can then use that polyline to list out information. I use this very often when I'm building subdivisions and checking lot closures and those kind of things. So I'm just going to simply go into bpoly, hit enter, and you'll get the boundary creation dialog box pops up. We definitely don't want island detection on, and because I don't want it to pick up anything that it shouldn't, so I'm going to turn this guy off, and I'm going to have it generate a polyline for me. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. I don't know if it'll pick those up or not. We may have to turn those off. Okay, it did not. And notice what you should be getting is a dashed line. That's indicating that that's going to be your polyline. Sometimes it requires a pick in a location over here or over here, so it will fail if you don't have a completely closed boundary or if you're just picking in the wrong spot. But once you pick that, just hit enter, and what you'll notice now, if you click up here, you have a polyline, and I can move that thing actually. It's not going to affect anything. That actually is the polyline representation of that area that it found. And what I can then do is go out and list this guy, and there's your area right there, which is in square feet essentially, and if you were using acres you'd have to divide that by 43,560. The lower bpoly would work the same way. If I did a bpoly, get rid of island detection. Now this usually will give me a problem if my whole area is not on the screen. If I try to pick it, a lot of times it'll give me an error message like that. So what you might want to do is make sure you can see the whole area, and it's still giving me that message. So I'm going to keep picking, and sometimes it'll do that, and it's possible that I'm not closed all the way. So let me go see what's going on here. That looks like that's closed. That looks like that's closed. Let me try that one more time. That time it worked. So it's somewhat of a picky little command, but it's a great thing for using area and doing area commands. So that is the conclusion of this lab. What we need to do is finish it off. Should basically have points that I've got on there, and you can then submit that, and I'll be taking a look at compound and reverse curves next time.